It's your boy Butler, best day of my life. Tomorrow's not promised. Go on, do your little dance while they still playing your song. It has been so long since I've uttered those words. YouTube had me on time out, punishment, parole, probation, and restriction. I got my account suspended for 90 days for, I don't even want to talk about it. I'm not going to even bring it up. And then after 90 days, I asked, could I come back? And they suspended me for 90 more days. I came back. I thought I had cleaned the page up, and they oh my God. It's been 9 months, 3, 6, 9 months. It's been almost a year since I have been monetized. And this morning, I got my freedom papers. I'm back monetized. So I need for you to like, share, subscribe, go through, look at the videos. Man, we back. We back. I just got off work. I just taught a class at the CAB Juvenile Court. 16 at-risk youth females, and the topic of discussion was relationships. So that is what it is. I'm happy to be back. I'm touching on, I just pulled up this video, man, and we're going to dive off into it. This is a manhunt for escaped Georgia inmates. Day one. This happened, I think it was 2 or 3 years ago. And I saw a clip of it. So I'm going to dive off into it. It's a lot to go through. Let's chop it up, man. Let's get off in here and see what we got going on. What we got going on, man. It's been so long. Let's see what we got here. Bam.
I saw 2 brutally murdered corrections officers. That's what I saw.
What?
I have their blood on my shoes.
Oh, man.
The officers were murdered while transporting 33 inmates from the state prison in Hancock County around 6:45 this morning. It happened on Highway 16 just west of Sparta near Eatonton.
This is a secure bus. How they got through the locks and things up to that area, I do not know.
Putnam Sheriff Howard Sills says the 2 inmates somehow muscled their way to the front of the bus and turned officers Christopher Manico and Curtis Bilyeu service weapons on them. The sheriff says the inmates then spotted this green Honda Civic, carjacked the driver, and floored it towards Eatonton.
So it looks like it wasn't even a planned escape. Y'all on the cuff. I don't know how much time y'all had. Let me get the name. So let's do some homework.
FBI agents, GBI agents, Hancock County, Putnam and Greene County coming down the roads, slowly looking and searching down the roads.
They need to surrender before we find them.
Within minutes, news spread quickly online concerning the manhunt for Donnie Rowe and Ricky Dubose, but also on the internet, support flooding in for the officers and their families on the national website, Officer Down Memorial page. There, people are leaving touching messages of sympathy. An officer in Los Angeles writes, "May you rest in peace after having served those around you. My thoughts are with you, your family, fellow officers, and friends." From Spalding County, Georgia, prayers with Correctional Officer Ballou and Correctional Officer Monica's families and friends. Thank you for your service to the state of Georgia. From Arkansas, prayers for Correctional Officer Ballou and Correctional Officer Monica's families. We lose 2 heroes to senseless violence. Thank you both for your service. May you both rest in peace. And as we learn more about the fallen officers and wait to hear from their family and friends, Correctional Officer Ballou's family released a statement through an attorney saying in part, Officer Ballou's family asks for prayers for all those who are now placing their own lives at risk to bring these men to justice.
Oh my God. Y'all going down.
I'm scared to death. Neighbors in Madison on edge after these 2 escaped convicts, Donnie Rowe and Ricky Dubose, were spotted here inside the Family Dollar on Eatonton Road. Officers searched nearby businesses and this motel, going door to door. Not long before, authorities confirmed the 2 broke into this home on Cox Road, ransacked the place, and stole food and clothing, leaving behind their prison-issued uniforms.
And every time my dog...
This is what I'm going to say. I've never escaped from any facility. But what I want to say is this was not a planned escape. Y'all on the whim in the middle of, I know what Madison, Georgia is. Let me tell you something. With a GPS and an actual destination, it's not a good place to be. But you know, y'all fit the description. So let's see. But I don't see it ending well for y'all at all. I just don't. And y'all unalive 2 police officers. Oh man, it's going down. It's not good at all.
Barks or hears anything, we jump up and say, oh my God, we have outbuildings and a garage behind our house, and we have to check it 20 times a day just to be sure nobody's, hanging around or whatever.
Rowe and Dubose are wanted for shooting and killing 2 state correctional officers as they were being transported in a bus from one prison to another early Tuesday morning.
About 6:45, I heard shots. Pow, 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 pow. Maybe 4, maybe 5, maybe 6. I'm not sure. And it sounded like somebody was yelling. I mean, like it would be something so simple as just saying, hey.
31 other inmates on the bus described watching the pair overpower the 2 officers, steal their service weapons, and kill them.
We've reviewed a video of it. It went down just as the prisoners told us. How they got out of their handcuffs, how they got through the locked door, I don't know. That's not my concern. My concern is apprehending these people, prosecuting them for murder.
The sheriff says the convicts carjacked the first car they saw, pushing the driver out and stealing this light green Honda Accord. They believe they may still be driving it. Meantime, officers from all jurisdictions are checking out each and every reported sighting of the escapees and telling residents be on the lookout.
Right now at 11, a pair of dangerous and desperate inmates on the run tonight after killing 2 Georgia correction officers.
This nationwide manhunt hitting too close to home for residents in this small community.
Devastating murders felt not only by family members, but brothers and sisters in blue.
Possible kidnapping, now a search for a missing teen.
I want to see what he did. How he get there? Accused of killing 2 girls, goes back to court. So they did catch him. Ricky Dubose murder trial underway in Putnam County. Victim and responder. There's video confession showing pre-trial hearing.
Well, in a video shown in court today, a Georgia prison inmate admits to shooting 2 state correctional officers during an escape attempt. Prosecutors showed the video during today's pretrial hearing for Ricky Dubose. Police say Dubose and another inmate, Donnie Rowe, overpowered officers.
I want to see how you was captured. How did you get, where they catch you at? I want to see how they caught you. Middle Tennessee.
Happening right now, these guys, 2 fugitives accused of killing 2 guards and terrorizing people in 2 states. They're behind bars now in Tennessee. Donnie Russell Rowe and Ricky Dubose appeared in a Rutherford County courtroom this morning for just a short hearing. Both inmates waived rights to challenge extradition. And while they could be sent back to Georgia at any time, they're behind bars in Murfreesboro tonight. Their crime spree began Tuesday morning. Investigators say they overpowered and killed 2 correctional officers while on a prison van just about an hour outside of Atlanta. Rowe is from Lewisburg, but authorities weren't sure if the fugitives would make their way here to Tennessee.
So this is what I want to say. Here go my 2 cents. Right now in the state of Georgia, in Georgia, the Georgia prison system, there is neglect. There's neglect in all aspects. I had a kid who was on my caseload, Almir Harris, who just passed away in the day room at it starts with the B. But I'm going to his funeral on the 17th. But there was neglect that took place. This man was violated sexually inside the facility. When he paroled out, he had a meth addiction. That means that, one, his safety was not, I don't want to say it wasn't important to the staff, but the staff did not protect him. Second of all, the drug usage is off the chain. It is so many people that's coming home with drug addictions, man. And they going into the prison clean and coming home, and they're not clean no more, bro. These folks coming home with addiction. You're not rehabilitated. These people gonna come home and run up your they're gonna cost taxpayers money, man. It's a shame. it's a shame because I don't know what the ultimate goal is, but the neglect on the Georgia Department of Corrections cost these 2 officers their lives. I'm not bigging up the 2 fugitives. What I'm saying is that if they had followed protocol, meaning that if they were properly trained and they followed the rules, they may have still lived, because they wouldn't have seen, these guys don't look that smart to me. They don't look smart at all, but they some kind of way overpowered the police, man, and unalived them and escaped. Not for long, though.
Tennessee. That'll change when they got a call, a 911 call from a couple in Bedford County saying the dangerous fugitives held them hostage inside their home. News Channel 5's Brandon Marshall takes the story from there.
For 3 minutes and 37 seconds, Robert Hickerson stayed on the phone with a Bedford County 911 dispatcher.
We've had an armed home invasion.
Can you give me a description?
It's 2 people from Georgia, escapees.
Breathless but safe, he consoled his wife.
You survived. You did a good job. Come here and let me hold you.
The couple in their 60s freed themselves after the 2 escapees tied them up, ate their food, and then stole their vehicle.
Both had handguns, high-powered handguns.
The men left around 5:30. Time ticked as deputies responded to the Bedford County home within minutes. Meanwhile, Donnie Rowe and Ricky Dubose sped up I-24 to Rutherford County. Sometime around 6, deputies caught up with the 2 during a high-speed chase in Christiana. Officials say the men fired several shots at the deputies from the vehicle. The chase ended with the men crashing, then bailing on foot into the woods.
First, at 6:40 p.m. yesterday evening, I received 2 warning calls from 2 friends telling me that there were 2 criminals.
Let me say this. When you cross that line and you unalive those police officers, everybody you came across was a potential victim. Everybody was a potential victim because ain't no coming back from offing the police. I don't know what your charges were. I don't know what you was locked up for. But once you did that, it's over with, bro. It's a done data. And so when you get into a high-speed chase with the police, it just looked like a bunch of unintelligent criminals having their way, man. I just don't understand. But had the Department of Corrections done their job, bro, it would have never happened. That's just my opinion.
Criminals that had escaped and had just gotten a shootout with police officers.
The 2 would run to Patrick Hale's home.
6:46, I loaded every weapon I could in my house to be prepared in the event that they needed to be used.
Hale recalled his terrifying 20-minute experience with the criminals.
6:47, I prayed like I have never prayed before.
He called police at 6:48. Hale would then grab his daughter, get into his car, and encountered the escapees near his driveway. He says they then got on their knees.
My vehicle looks very similar to a police cruiser. I don't know if that's the reason why they started to surrender.
For these 2, time was against them. For the victims, all safe, time was an eternity. And for law enforcement, time couldn't have ended soon enough. Brandon Marshall, News Channel 5.
At this point, it's unclear what exact charges Rowe and Dubose are facing.
A bunch of them. A bunch of them. A bunch of homeowners with guns capture escaped inmates. Prison accused of killing 2. Goes back to court. Man. Over with for y'all guys.
Yes, attorneys for accused murderer Ricky Dubose spent the day in Putnam County Superior Court for a hearing. Now, Dubose is the 2nd Georgia prison inmate accused of killing 2 corrections officers in 2017. We're still waiting to hear exactly what was discussed in today's hearing, but Putnam County Sheriff Howard Sills told us earlier today the defense was expected to object to the makeup of the jury pool. Now, earlier this month, prosecutors and lawyers for Ricky Dubose argued pretrial motions in his case. Prosecutors say Dubose and inmate Donnie Rowe killed guards Curtis Ballou and Christopher Monica aboard a prison bus in Putnam County in the summer of 2017. Now, the case dates back more than 4 years, so we're taking a closer look at the timeline of the 2 inmates in court and the deadly attack that landed them there. It all began June 13th of 2017. Investigators say a prison bus transported inmates Ricky Dubose and Donnie Rowe.
Here's where I'm confused, because on this bus, let's go back to that bus. Where's that bus? I've been on this bus before. And on this bus, you are shackled with every other individual that's on that bus. If I remember correctly, there are a set of handcuffs here. Those handcuffs are connected. And then it's two more right there for two other individuals. So you cuff to this person, cuff to these two other people, and then there's a chain that connects these two people with those two people and everybody else. You connected to everybody. So some kind of way, y'all done jimmied that lock. But then how did y'all get through the gate? How y'all, because from what I remember, there is a locked gate. Oh man. All right, this.
A prison bus transported inmates Ricky Dubose and Donnie Rowe. They overpowered the two guards, killed them, and escaped. The nationwide manhunt for the escapees lasted 2 days until authorities tracked them down in Shelbyville, Tennessee. A few days after that, Dubose and Rowe made their first court appearance. District Attorney Stephen Bradley requested the death penalty. A year later in November, a judge set Dubose's trial date for September of 2019. A month before it was set to be...
I want to see if we can see the video confession. I don't want the confession. I want to see how y'all got up off this bus. I want to see how y'all, here's what went wrong before the deadly inmate escaped in Georgia. That's a different one. We're going to touch on that one. Wanted for homicide. Man. Jury decide fate. Let's see what your fate is.
A jury will now decide the fate of a prison inmate accused of killing two corrections officers. This happening in Putnam County. Closing arguments wrapped up just a few hours ago with both sides debating the suspect's mental health at the time of the incident. Ricky Dubose is one of the two men accused of killing Curtis Billou and Christopher Monica. That was 5 years ago, triggering a manhunt across several southern states. Eventually, Dubose and his fellow inmate Donnie Rowe were caught in Tennessee. Today, Dubose's lead attorney said he can't do anything without help due to his mental illness and his intellectual disability. But the prosecution says Dubose knew exactly what he was doing.
Mr. Dubose suffers from mental illness and intellectual disability.
Yeah, they got a place. They got a cell for people who have those disabilities. I promise you that. You ain't going home. See bus from Fatal. Okay, so let's see. Here we go. Some bus footage.
On the third day of trial in Putnam Superior Court in Edenton, jurors got to look at the prison bus where officers Curtis Billou and Christopher Monica died. Then Donnie Rowe's attorneys asked for a mistrial.
Molly Jett takes you through what happened today, which included a visit to the crime scene.
Today is the third day of inmate Donnie Rowe's murder trial. It started with a visit to the crime scene itself. A wrecker brought the bus to Putnam Superior Court. It's been in storage since June 2017 when prosecutors say Rowe and Ricky Dubose allegedly killed the two corrections officers, carjacked a passing car, and escaped. Defense lawyers argued that jurors didn't need to see the blood-spattered bus, but Judge Brenda Trammell disagreed.
There will be no talking allowed at all.
Look at it, hold on. That's a picture of the officer right there. Oh. Y'all going down. You going down, babe. You going down.
So you are going to be providing gloves and booties. You'll be allowed to walk around the bus if you wish. And you will also be allowed to step into the bus if you wish.
The judge kept the media about 30 yards away, but even from a distance, you could see bullet holes and shattered glass. It was dead quiet as the jury looked at the bus, and most stayed outside. District Attorney tBreakTheLaw talked about how jurors reacted.
None of them were laughing, none of them were smiling, none of them were crying. There was no emotion. Quite frankly, that might have been one of the most quiet morning I've seen in downtown Eaton in a long time.
As soon as everyone was back in the courtroom, Rowe's lawyers asked for a mistrial, saying jurors were crying while inspecting the bus. Judge Trammell disagreed sharply.
And I will tell you, Mr. Woodman, I cannot understand where you came up with that characterization. I stood there and watched all those jurors. Nobody cried. Nobody appeared upset. They all appeared contemplative and went and looked at the evidence in this case. So your motion is denied.
As the trial resumed, jurors listened to another witness who found the abandoned and hijacked car in Morgan County. In Eatonton, Molly Jett, 13 WMAZ News.
The moral of the story is don't go to prison. And if you go to prison, don't try to escape. And if you try to escape, don't unalive the police. Hey, man, like, share, subscribe. Best day of my life. We back. As soon as I finish this video, I'm going to start with another one.